My wife said she was scheduling surgery to stay childless forever. I answered, your decision. Then I divorced her and later married her best friend. The pregnancy news at Easter crushed her. We were at an upscale steakhouse celebrating our third wedding anniversary. Somewhere between the main course and dessert, she dropped the bomb. I've scheduled a consultation for a hysterectomy. I want to make sure I never have children. Ever. I set down my fork. What? I've realized motherhood isn't for me. I don't want to spend the next decade worrying about birth control. 3 years of marriage, 5 years together, countless conversations about baby names, and she was telling me she wanted surgical sterilization. When did you decide this? Over the past few months, I've been seeing a therapist. I was only saying I wanted kids because that's what you wanted to hear. I took a sip of champagne. Your body, your choice. She blinked. That's it? Nope. This marriage was built on us building a family. If that's off the table, we need to discuss what that means. What do you mean? If we don't want the same things, maybe we're not compatible. The next morning, while Laura was at work, I called my brother Mark, a divorce attorney. I need to dissolve my marriage, immediately. By noon, I transferred my share from our joint accounts, loaded my truck with everything that was mine, and picked up the divorce papers Mark had drawn up. I left them on the kitchen island. The note was simple. Your decision was your right, but continuing this marriage is my choice, and I'm choosing not to. The divorce turned ugly. Her lawyer demanded spousal support. Then something unexpected happened. Emily, Laura's best friend, quietly reached out. Daniel, I think Laura handled this terribly. I'm sorry. We met for coffee. Emily explained that Laura had been planning this for months, deliberately choosing the most brutal delivery. She believed I would either accept her decision and prove my love, or leave and prove I only saw her as a breeding machine. Emily had warned her this was cruel, that marriages require discussion, but Laura wouldn't listen. What started as coffee meetings evolved into genuine friendship. Emily loved hiking, something Laura always dismissed as pointless. Emily wanted a traditional family life Laura had only pretended to embrace. 6 months later, during a camping trip, we were sheltering in her tent during a thunderstorm. I think I'm falling in love with you, Emily whispered. I love you too, I said. We kept it secret until the divorce finalized. Then I proposed during a sunrise hike. We eloped the following week. 2 months later, Emily got pregnant with twins. Emily's grandmother hosted Easter brunch every year. Emily prepared a photo album, images of our elopement, our home, and ultrasound photos. What we hadn't anticipated was Laura being there. Emily's roommate had invited her, oblivious to the history. Laura looked terrible, weight loss, unwashed hair, but any sympathy evaporated when she saw me next to Emily, wearing a wedding ring. Emily's grandmother stood up. Emily has something to share. Emily opened the album. Daniel and I got married 3 months ago. We're expecting twins this fall. The room erupted. Laura sat frozen. You planned this. You planned all of this from the beginning. We didn't even start dating until after the divorce, Emily said calmly. Laura stood abruptly. You were feeding him information, manipulating everything so you could steal my husband. Control yourself, Emily's grandmother said sharply. Control myself? Laura screamed. She destroyed my marriage. She convinced Daniel to leave me the second I made one decision. You told Daniel you were getting a hysterectomy to ensure you never had children, Emily said quietly. You manipulated me. Laura lunged for the album. Emily pulled it away. This should be my life. These should be my babies. 3 adults held Laura back as she shrieked. Emily's grandmother called the police. The last thing Laura screamed was the truth. I never wanted that hysterectomy. It was all a test. You were supposed to fight for me. Everything finally made sense. 6 weeks later, Emily gave birth to twins, Noah and Lily. My workshop filled with neighborhood kids every Saturday. Laura moved away. I later heard she married a wealthy doctor within 2 years. One evening, Emily caught me staring out the window. She gave you the greatest gift, Emily said as we watched the twins sleep. She showed you who she was, before you wasted more years.